What's good? I'm back, y'all. It's been a minute. Yo, I checked the last time I uploaded a video. I didn't think it was that long because I took a little break. You know what I'm saying? After summer league was over, I ain't uploaded in 25 days. 25. That's kind of crazy. Took a little breaky break, but we here, we back. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like this is like a dead period in the NBA. Like there's nothing newsworthy really that's gonna be out unless it's like something breaking and shocking. But overall, ain't nothing finna happen. You feel me? Ain't nothing finna happen. What happened? The schedule released. Let's do that quickly. The schedule released. The Christmas games. I'm pretty sure I never went over this, but you got the Knicks and the Spurs first game. You got Minnesota and Dallas second game. You have the Philadelphia 76ers and the Boston Celtics. Yo, I feel like they play all the time, bro. Am I bugging? Like I know last year it was Boston versus the Lakers and Miami was the one who played Philly, but I always feel like they always play against each other, bro. And I'm tired of it. Can we do Boston versus somebody else, Philly versus somebody else? Please. I'm tired of seeing them. And in the fourth game, I mean, I could have told you this. I could have told you this in July. Lakers versus Warriors at the fourth game. I get it, LeBron and Steph, but that's another thing where listen, I understand we want to see LeBron and Stephen Curry, and they're always gonna play on Christmas because of the players they are. But I'm tired of seeing them. I'm tired of seeing them too. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's been year after year they've been playing against each other on Christmas. I just want to see a little shakeup. And the last game was what, Denver versus Phoenix, which is fine, I guess. That's the Christmas Day games. My thoughts are the teams themselves are fine, but I would switch up the matchup just a little bit, just a little bit. That's all I had to say. But we not here for that. Oh wait, before Knicks Celtics first game October 22nd, opening day, ring night for the Celtics. They get their banner put up, but we as Miami Heat fans we don't care about that. But that's the first game. Second game is Minnesota and the Lakers. Boom. Okay, now we done. No more schedule talk. What we really here for is, I feel like I never really got to discuss the state of the East. Did the East get better? Did it get worse? We gonna follow and discuss all that. But before we do, please, as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You feel what I'm saying? Any help is greatly appreciated. Share this video with your friends and families. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the subscribers up. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it for me. Do it for you. Do it for the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Do it for the Lord. Be unselfish and do it for the Lord. You feel me? But let's get started. The East, right? I feel like the East is like playoff teams and then teams that are gonna tank for Cooper Flag. I honestly think it's that much. Maybe you got some teams in the middle that are that we'll go over in a little bit. That the middling teams, or they don't really seem to have a direction. But in total, I really feel like there's two sections of the conference. Flag, the Cooper Flag sweepstakes, and the teams that want to play in April, May, and June, right? And so to start off with the bottom tier teams, you have the Washington Wizards. Ugh. You got the Charlotte Hornets. Ugh. You got the Toronto Raptors. You got the Brooklyn Nets, who finally have decided to tank after I don't know what 2-3 years. Chicago, Atlanta. That's six teams really that might tank for Cooper Flag. Chicago and Atlanta are two teams that are mainly Atlanta. That's they're mediocre. It's what direction are they going in? Atlanta still has Trae Young. They just had the number one overall pick, Zachary Sachet. And look, he played well in summer league. I'm not gonna lie, he did play well, pretty good in summer league. He looks like he could be a fit around Trae, someone who doesn't need the ball in his hands, someone who could maybe attack off the dribble, be a secondary guy in the offense, and he has size, which is good. You need size around Trae Young. Trae Young is not a big guy at all. At least in NBA terms, in regular no everyday life, like he's not a small human being, you know what I'm saying? But in basketball, he's a little small. So let's not forget that like 5'11", 6 feet, though that's kind of tall. You feel what I'm saying? But they're a team that I don't like. I think they're still gonna be in the playing range. I still think they're gonna be 9, still they're gonna be 10. Trae Young is good enough, and the talent around him, DeAndre Hunter. They traded DeJounte Murray, of course. They split up that group. That pairing did not work. They still have like Clint Capella, who may be on a trade block, but still a decent center. Onyeka Okongwu, decent center. So they still have decent guys to play and to like be able to compete in a play-in range, but they're nothing more than that. Unless they make a dramatic change, which I don't foresee coming. But of course, anybody could be surprised in the NBA. But that's what they're gonna be at. So there's Atlanta, and then those other teams down at the bottom. Then you got the teams that are trying to complete for playoffs and complete for a championship. You got the Boston Celtics. You got the Milwaukee Bucks. You got the New York Knicks. You got the Cleveland Cavaliers. You got the Philadelphia 76ers. You have the Miami Heat. You have the Orlando Magic. You have the Indiana Pacers. You have those 8 teams who probably will be the 8 teams in playoffs. Who knows what what seeding will be. But those are the 8 teams that are like want to win / compete for a title. And this is pretty easy to tell which teams are trying to win, which teams aren't. You look at the top of the East. The top of the East is really hold on, let me move my mic a little bit. This is my mic, yeah. This is my mic right here. Let me move it a little closer. Y'all can hear me? Okay, good. But you're gonna have those 8 teams trying to compete and win. The top of the East, you have Boston, the team that like I think everybody worldwide is probably looking at as a team that could win the championship next season. You have the top of the East you have the Boston Celtics, you have the New York Knicks, and you have the Philadelphia 76ers. Philly, of course, probably made the biggest move of the offseason in getting Paul George to pair with Maxine and Embiid. The fit itself is fine. I think Paul George is a malleable player. He can shoot off the dribble. He can shoot off the catch. He shot, I think, 41% from 3. The guys obviously can score in the mid-range. He can still give you 30 points. He can still give you good defense even at his age. What is he, 33, 34 now? But he's a really good player. Getting him was an absolute W. They paid a lot for him. He signed like a 4-year, $215 million deal. But when it's time to win a championship right now, Joel Embiid is 30 years old. You go all in. And Daryl Morey is obviously someone who wants star power, and try to win a championship. So I can't do nothing but give them an A for that. And then to supplement the rest of the roster, you get Eric Gordon, who could still give you a little something, shoot pretty well from 3. You get Andre Drummond, who sneaky had a really good season as the backup center in Chicago. Now he's gonna be your backup center in Philadelphia. You get Reggie Jackson off of waivers. Remember, he was traded to the Charlotte Hornets, I believe, and Charlotte waived him, so they'll go ahead and pick him right up. They signed Caleb Martin to a 4-year deal at really, really, really good value. They re-signed Kelly Oubre. They re-signed KJ Martin. They re-signed what's his name, Kyle Lowry, who I thought was a pretty good pickup for them midway through the season last season. So it's like they're stacked. They have a deep team. Their starting lineup probably will be, if I had to say, it'll probably be Kelly Oubre, Tyrese Maxey, or I guess Caleb and Maxey could be your backcourt with George, Embiid, and Oubre in the front court. And then your bench is going to be, Yabusele. I forgot about him. Yesterday, it was just announced that they signed Yabusele, who obviously played for the French team, who ended up winning the silver medal. You saw how good he was. He was a draft pick in 2016. NBA career didn't work out. Now he's playing overseas. You see how good he was in the Olympics. Now he's making his comeback to the NBA. Obviously, he's a big guy. He's going to be able to guard wings if he gets the playing time. That's not a bad deal. At a minimum contract, that's not bad value. him along with the Reggie Jackson, of course. Everybody who I mentioned is they have a team. They have like a good 10-man rotation for the or 11-man rotation for the regular season. Like it's good. Like I think they'll be able to stack up a lot of wins. I think they could be like a 55 win a team. And then you go to the New York Knicks, who obviously have made big moves in getting Mikal Bridges. They're a team who, on paper, I mean, I said this before. You know what I'm saying? I said this before. I should add the clip. I should really go back and add the clip. If you're a team looking to challenge Boston, you can't have you need guys that are able to handle themselves defensively in isolation. That to me is very important because in this league you help a lot. You help off the off their non-shooters and stuff like that. But you can't do that against Boston. Everybody on the team can shoot. So you need guys who can handle Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown or Derek White, whoever has the ball to be able to handle them one-on-one in isolation without sending so much help. But if you want to compete against Boston, as I have said before, you want guys with size, athleticism, length, at the wing spots because their two best players are wing players, the Jays, Tatum and Jaylen Brown. You want a team we could put out there that could defend them, and you want a team that could be out there that at least there because Boston's a good defensive team. You want a team that can at least also be able to score on them. And you have Julius Randle, you have Jalen Brunson. Like they have their starting lineup: Brunson, Bridges, OG, Randle, Mitchell Robinson. That's a damn good defensive lineup. And Jalen Brunson is the weakest defender on the team, but when you put four guys with size, strength, and athleticism next to him, you don't got to worry about that. The Boston Celtics are still going to try to find ways to exploit him on defense, but when you have guys again like that can cover up for you defensively, you are way less worried about it. And then Jalen Brunson can cook them back. Even with Derek White and Jrue Holiday guarding him. Like last year he played pretty good against the Celtics. They're a team that put all their chips in. They traded 4 first-round picks. It is an overpay for Mikal Bridges. He's not a superstar. Like though that's what you get for like Lauri Markkanen, maybe even Kevin Durant. Maybe Kevin Durant might get even more picks or something. But that's the kind of package you give up for a star player. But they wanted the Villanova Knicks to be together, and so they sort of put all their chips in. Jalen Brunson re-signs, and he took $110 million less just to keep the team together. Mikal Bridges is gonna be up for an extension, so that's something I think they'll get done throughout the season. Obviously, they re-signed OG. They end up losing Isaiah Hartenstein, so if there's one thing to nitpick about them is who's going to be their backup center. Their other guy, Jericho Sims, not sure he's ready to be a consistent backup center yet. But did they sign Precious Achiuwa yet? Hold on, let me check. Yes, they did. They did re-sign Precious Achiuwa. So they also got Cameron Payne. The center spot the backup center spot is probably the one iffy. Precious Achiuwa is probably going to be the one to play backup center minutes for them. He was okay at it last year. Let's see how he does basically full-time backup center. But their team, along with Boston, I don't really have to get into Boston. They basically kept the same team as last year. They lost Svi Mykhailiuk, but whatever. Like they re-signed Tatum. They re-signed Brown. Not Brown. They re-signed Tatum, gave him a full 5-year max extension. Most money in NBA history. Jaylen Brown's extension is going to come up this upcoming season. You re-sign Jrue Holiday earlier in the season. You get Derek White too. They're gonna be in a second apron, so the money's gonna be real tight on the books for this team. But when you have two guys in their mid-20s who are this good, and your championship window can last for many years, even if Jrue Holiday is like 33, 34 right now, I think he'll age fine. Then you just go all in, you pay, and you deal with the consequences later. That's a team that can go into the second apron because they just won a championship and their window is open. So not every team could do that. Phoenix Suns, Matt Ishbia, not every team can be like the Boston Celtics and overpay like that. So I don't need to talk about them, but that's the top of the East right there. And then you have the next few teams that are sort of in the mix. You have Miami, you have the Pacers, you have the Magic, you have, I feel like I'm missing a team. You have the Bucks, and the Bucks, like there is a world where they can be in championship like contender alley. They could be up there with the Knicks and the Pacers and the Celtics. I have hopefully Chris Middleton will be back. Chris Middleton got ankle surgery on both his ankles. It was supposed to be looked at as some cleanup stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like nothing crazy. But it's surgery on your ankles. How I was supposed to look at it and be like, nah, that's nothing. Like it's surgery on your ankles, bro. And remember last year, the ankle injury came apart where he was shooting. Kevin Durant contested. Chris Middleton lands on his foot. Kevin Durant's foot ends up spraining the ankle, and then he missed like 17 or something games. He said it was the worst ankle injury he's ever had. It's crazy because he put up for that 47-point game versus the Pacers in the playoffs, basically dealing with not fully healed from that ankle injury. So you gotta shout him out for that. But he's also older. He's had ankle issues now. He's had knee issues before. As much as I believe in the chemistry between Giannis and Dame being able to like manifest this season, and they really learn how to play off of one another and learn to be a deadly duo, Chris Middleton is still a factor. He's still important. All right, they need him to be able. Listen, he may not be playing like his all-star self, but can he play 80% of his all-star self? They might need that in order to be in that inner circle of contenders in the East. They're gonna need that. Dame is gonna have to have a bounce back season. Last season was his worst like efficient season. Just not shooting well from three, not shooting well for overall from the field. He is also someone whose season ended in injury with the Achilles that he suffered in the first round. So hopefully he can bounce back, have a full off season to work out, get in his regular routine and stuff like that. Giannis coming off the Olympics. He's also hasn't finished the playoffs healthy in the past 2 seasons. Against Miami, he had the back injury, and then he had the knee injury, right? It was a knee, I think. I don't remember. It's been so long now since I've seen him play. But obviously he's healthy now because he played in the Olympics. But you get Taurean Prince, what I think is a fine signing. You get Gary Trent, which I thought was a pretty good signing. He's probably a better version of Malik Beasley, who they had last year. He can defend. I would say last year wasn't his best defensive season, but the year before, even 2 years before that, he was playing pretty good defense. He was top 5 in the league in steals. So he might be a better version of Malik Beasley, a better player overall for Malik Beasley, and he'll fit better, I think, in the starting lineup. He might even close some games. They still have Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez is getting up there in age. He's 35, 36 now. Can he still protect the paint like he used to? Can he still shoot the ball and spread the floor like he used to? Is he a little slower now? We'll see. If someone's driving to the basket, is he too slow to get there? I think that's what I'm gonna be looking for. But they already had a lot of money on the books. They're a team that's getting older, but I have to see it first, because last year they never consistently shown me that they were a championship team. They would have like 3 games when they look really good. They don't have 3 games where they look really bad, and it's just not consistent. It wasn't like a 10-game stretch where they was like 8-2 and they're like, wow, they look dominant. They never looked dominant last season, which is why they ended up losing in the first round, among other things. So can they show me to start the season, the first couple months of the season, can they show me some level of dominance? That's what I'm going to be looking for. As a Heat fan, I don't want to see the level of dominance. I want to see them suck. I want to see them be really, really terrible. So please, from a Heat fan, be terrible. Please, I am begging. But as just a regular basketball fan that I am, yes, please show me that they can be good. And then you have Orlando. They signed Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Very good signing. They were already, 3rd in the league in defense last year. Boston was 2nd. Minnesota was 1st. They're 3rd. You got KCP, who's one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. I mean, Jalen Suggs, KCP, Wagner, Banchero, Wendell Carter Jr. I mean, after playing that good defense, they still might be top 5 in defense. Their problem will be offense though. They didn't really fix that. Contavious Caldwell-Pope obviously can shoot. He didn't shoot that well in the playoffs last season for Denver, but overall he can shoot in the high 30s from 3, so that'll help. Banchero, who likes to operate a lot in the mid-range. Hopefully Franz Wagner can bounce back. He had a little bit of a down year. It was riddled with a little injuries along the way. So can he get back to what he was like a couple seasons ago, where it's like, is Franz Wagner gonna make an All-Star team? That's what we were saying. Can Franz Wagner make an All-Star team? That's the conversation that was going on, maybe a couple seasons ago. But then last season, took a little step back. But can he take a step back that takes two steps forward? We will see. And then you have Jonathan Isaac, who they re-signed, gave a larger contract to. Can he consistently be healthy and give 25 minutes? Because statistically, minute per minute, he is the best defender in the league. Statistically, he's not better than Bam. I don't want to hear that. I don't care. I don't care what the statistics say. He ain't better than Bam. But I will give him credit. He is a really good defender. He has length. He has athleticism. He's 6'11", 7 foot or something like that. He grew as when he wasn't this tall when he came to the league. He grew. But now can he get consistently like 65 games, 25 minutes per? I don't know if he'll start at center actually. Would he start at center? I know he did a couple times in the regular season. We'll see, of course, but can he give you consistent minutes? Can he shoot the 3 well? Same thing for Jalen Suggs. Can Jalen Suggs continue his 3-point streak? A lot of Jalen Suggs' career wasn't shooting the 3 well, but he shot 3 well last season. Can he continue that? Because again, they need spacing around Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero. Those two are gonna do all the dribble move. They're gonna have all the ball handling. You need shooters around your 2 best players. So can KCP, Jalen Suggs, anybody else, Gary Harris, who they re-signed, can any of those guys could be really good 3-point shooters? Because if they coming off a year last season where they were 5th in the conference, they won their division. Paolo Banchero was an all-star for the first time in his 2nd season. Like, there's a lot of good momentum coming into this season. And so if they really want to make some noise, though, they're going to have to be better on offense because they were a terrible offensive team last season. The Pacers didn't really do much. They had they re-signed Siakam. They gave an extension to Andrew Nembhard. They got James Wiseman. I didn't even know that. Before, I was looking up Indiana Pacers. I was like, what moves did they do besides re-sign Pascal Siakam? And I was like, oh yeah, Andrew Nembhard. Then I saw James Wiseman. I was like, huh? I guess, listen, Jalen Smith went and left to go to the Bulls, who will suck this season. They did get Josh Giddey. Wow. But their summer was terrible. Their summer was terrible. Actually, let me go on the Bulls. What are y'all doing, bro? What are you doing? Bro, they straight up traded Josh Giddey for Alex Caruso. For the entire NBA season, people were talking about giving you 2 first-round picks for him. And you got 0 picks for Alex Caruso. The whole season, people wanted Alex Caruso. You didn't want to give him up. You're like, oh, we like him. We want to keep him. Just to give him away for Josh Giddey. And I have nothing against Josh Giddey. I think Josh Giddey could be a good player. He's very young. This is about to be his 4th season. But like, you gave him up for a straight player on player swap, no draft capital, and then you give up DeMar DeRozan, who is the asset. He's a free agent. You want to perform a sign and trade, and you don't get any draft picks back. You let what's their name? The San Antonio Spurs just come swoop in, get Harrison Barnes and draft capital. What? How? What are they doing? Like, all these guys care about is getting people inside the building. Okay, woo, yeah, woo. You guys are number one in ticket sales again. Like nobody cares, bruh. If you're a Chicago fan, am I speaking facts right now? They just doing nothing. They got Zach LaVine still on the team. They don't want him. They want to trade him. Lonzo Ball hasn't played in 2 years. I hope he plays this season. Kobe White is probably the best thing about this team right now, and maybe their draft pick that they had this year because he had a really good summer league. I actually really enjoyed watching him. Bro got a couple posters. You know what I'm saying? I like that. But what are they doing? I don't get it. At least the Brooklyn Nets picked a direction. Y'all just need but trade everybody. Trade everybody and actually get draft capital back. That's what y'all need to do. That's what y'all need to do. Sorry. Back to the Indiana Pacers before I was so rudely interrupted by the Chicago Bulls. I didn't even know they signed James Wiseman, but they did, probably to replace Jalen Smith. But their team, a full season of Siakam and Halliburton, hopefully Halliburton can play. They did say he didn't play that much in the Olympics. They did say he had like a minor injury. Hopefully the injury is very minor because he had the hamstring injury that he was dealing with from like January on to the end of the season. So can he get back to what he was playing in the first half of the season? Where it's like, could this guy make first team All NBA? That's how good Tyrese Halliburton was. That's how good he was. If he plays like that and Siakam plays the way he played at the end of the season, because he was cooking in the playoffs, that Boston team could not guard him. They could not guard him. Again, they have the same team. They're going to have to be better defensively. They did show that in the regular season. They should still be a top 10 offense with the speed that they play and the shooting that they have around Halliburton and Siakam. Can they be a little more closer to average if they want to contend and go far in the playoffs again? Because who knows if they can make the conference finals again. They did get a little bit lucky, and you do need luck when you are trying to contend and win a championship. Everybody needs luck in all sports. But if they want to get back there and consistently be looked at as a conference finals a contender, they're going to need to sort of be better defensively. Maybe they might have to still make a couple moves, but I still expect them to be a good team. I still expect their offense to be very potent. And so teams better watch out. But they also better watch out too. With this level of success, teams are going to now understand how good you are based off what you did last season. So that's why they're in the second tier. They're not as good as the three teams I mentioned maybe four with the Bucks. They're in that second tier. But you know what I'm saying? They still have ways to go before they get into that upper tier. You have the Miami Heat and the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cleveland Cavaliers didn't really do nothing. They re-signed everybody. They gave an extension to Allen, Mobley, re-signed. They actually gave an extension to Donovan Mitchell. That was an extension. They're essentially running it back with the same exact team. Running it back. As a Miami Heat fan, that gives me PTSD to hear those words. You know what I'm saying? It gives me a little PTSD, but they're running it back. Their big acquisition wasn't a player, it was a coach. They fired JB Bickerstaff. They get Kenny Atkinson, who last time we saw him coaching as a head coach was the Brooklyn Nets. And you saw how that went with the young team with D'Angelo Russell, who was an all-star that season. Y'all remember that? Karis LeVert, Jared Allen. Like, he's a good creative coach. I think he's a good developmental coach. I think it's going to be interesting to see what he can do with Evan Mobley. I know everybody's looking to split up Evan Mobley and Jared Allen for good reason. If you remember in the playoffs versus Boston, although they did lose 4-1, Evan Mobley looked really good playing center. He looked really good. So his best capabilities might be him at center. But again, they just re-signed Jared Allen. So who knows how this is going to look. Darius Garland, hopefully, not injured. Jared Allen, not injured. Hopefully the team is healthy. Obviously, Max Strus was a big help for them. Maybe he can improve a little bit statistically in his numbers and all that. But Kenny Atkinson is the guy that they're hoping can sort of make all this fit. Make Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland and Evan Mobley and Jared Allen fit. Like that's what I know the front office is hoping. And until they make it happen, I can't put them above. I can't put them in the upper echelon of the contenders. They not VIP section yet. You feel me? Same thing for the Heat. The Heat is essentially running it back. They did re-sign Allen. Of course, they lost. Not re-signed Allen. I'm so dumb. They signed Alec Burks and they re-signed Kevin Love. They re-signed Thomas Bryant. They not Jimmy Butler. He's up for an extension, but he didn't sign it, which is why everybody thinks he might leave this season. They gave Bam Adebayo his extension. So essentially, they're running it back to PTSD. Sorry, just got a little chills on my spine. I'm good though. They're a team that's all hopefully they're looking for health. Miami's looking for health. Miami's the one team, maybe besides the Milwaukee Bucks, that is like they can be in the upper echelon of contending status because they've shown it. They're a team where during the regular season, Jimmy Butler plays at a good level. But then in the playoffs, he plays at like the third best player on the planet. Can he do that still? His birthday is next month. He will be 35. For me personally, Jimmy Butler will be motivated, of course, to get a new contract. So I think he will play better. He will play harder. I don't think he'll start averaging 25 points. I'm not going to say that. But I definitely think you will see more of an effort for him because, listen, again, he's going to be 35 in September. This is his last chance really to get a really big and good contract because I don't think people want to pay Jimmy Butler $60 million when he's like 38 years old, right? So this is his last chance to get a good contract. So Miami, we're betting on that. We're hoping on that. We're hoping Bam gets better, especially after the Olympic run he had. Where he's shooting threes. He looked very, very good defensively. We're hoping Tyler Hero can get stronger and be healthy. Terry Rozier can get back to what he was before he got injured. Duncan Robinson, Khalil Ware, they're young guys. Can the young guys take a leap? And Jovic and Jaquez. So they're a team who, because of Jimmy and because of Spoelstra, they can end up at the top with the Bostons and the Phillies and the Knicks. But for the regular, but I have to see it first. They're gonna have the same exact team basically as last year, almost, of course, with a couple new pieces. But they're gonna have the same core from last year. Can this core stay healthy? Can they show you a little something? Can they show consistent? Because last season was such a terrible regular season for them. Can they show any form of consistency, especially offensively? They've been a bottom 10 offense for the past 2 years. Can they be better? Can they be better at Can they be 17th in offense and like 8th in defense or something? They were 5th in defense last year, by the way. Can they be not bottom 10? Can they be more towards the average and then still be at a top 10 level at the defensive end? You never know. Miami is the one team who you can't really compare anybody else to. They're a team of their own. They're a team who randomly makes conference finals and finals because of Jimmy Butler's greatness. But I can't put them at the upper echelon yet. So going over all those teams, the East definitely got better. It definitely got a little harder. For those teams that are not Boston, Philly, and the Knicks, because you expect Indiana to be better a little bit. You expect Orlando to be better. You expect the Cavs to be better, and you expect the Heat to be better. All those guys are supposed to be better. You have like those 6 teams, 5-6 teams that are all gonna try to get Cooper Flag, but you have a really competitive 8-9 team race for the top 8 spots in the East. It's gonna be interesting. I definitely think they got better. Are they as good as the team in the West? No. Because even in the West, like the 9, 10, 11 spots are even competitive. Because we all expect like Victor Wembanyama and stuff to be better. We expect the Rockets to be good because they were good last year. They almost made the play-in tournament. You expect, at least in the first half of the season, for the Utah Jazz to be competitive and look good. I'm feeling good about the East. Of course, it's going to be harder as a Miami Heat fan, but hopefully we can stay healthy. Hopefully we can stay healthy. I'm going to say it one more time. Hopefully we can stay healthy. Knock on wood. Hopefully they can stay healthy. The path to the the finals through the East got a little bit harder. Still not as hard as the West, but we'll see what happens when October 22nd comes around. Thank you guys for watching. I will do a Western Conference one because that's going to be a little more interesting because, as I said, they are a little bit more competitive from like 1 through like 13. Really, there's going to be like 2 teams that are going to suck. And it's probably going to be like Portland. Maybe, again, the Spurs might be a little bit more competitive. But it might be them and like Utah. Everybody else might be good. Might be trying to get a playoff spot. But we'll discuss that in our next video. But until then, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video out to as many people as possible. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.